find a solution that I can actually get my health back.
Erin, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me to discuss your experience with IBD and kicking serious butt. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes. First, can you tell me what was it like to be diagnosed? I think 4 or 5 years ago. What was it like to be diagnosed? What were you diagnosed with? And how did that affect your work, your life, your family?
So I was diagnosed about 4 years ago. Now I was diagnosed at 27, now
Okay.
31. I was diagnosed with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, left-sided. It rocked my world, really. It pretty much like ripped my life up from the roots and just knocked me down. I was afraid of the diagnosis at first because actually my younger sister, she's about 2.5 years younger than me, she was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at age 14. And so
You knew it.
obviously there's a genetic component. That's not the only contributing factor, as we know, but I had seen what it could be like. And so when I got my diagnosis, I was like a deer in headlights. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that. I've seen it. I ended up having to take disability from work. I had a really good career in market research, data analytics. I was working down in the financial district of Manhattan, had a great job, and all of that came to a screeching halt. And obviously it was huge on my family too, because my family was going through this for the second time. They had already been through it once with my younger sister. So when I got my diagnosis, as much of a roller coaster it was for me, I think it was also a giant roller coaster for my parents. It makes me
Like,
think.
blame. Why did this happen? What do we do? Are we doing something? How do we tell her it's okay? Totally.
Right.
I mean, I have 2 sisters and I was diagnosed at 23 and first symptoms at 19. So it's really hard. It is.
Yeah.
And you're not sure what you can do about it. So when you started with this, did you immediately start going down the conventional route? And what was your experience with that?
Yeah. So when I first got diagnosed, went down the conventional route, was working with my GI doctor. He was great, loved him, have a great relationship with him still. And we tried everything. I tried medication after medication, IV infusions, prednisone, you name it. I went through Entyvio, Stelara, Remicade, like the whole shebang. And it eventually got to a point where I actually really respected the fact that my GI doctor was like, I really think that you should go see this specialist down in the city because I really want to get his input. So I appreciated the fact that he was honest about that. So I went, saw the specialists, and even the specialists down in the city, they were like, Rinvoq is your last option. And if that doesn't work, you need to have surgery. And that was scary. And luckily, I had kind of made the executive decision. As you say, I kind of became like the CEO of my own health in that moment in time. And I decided to just like take a breather from the medication because the side effects that I went through with all of those medications was brutal. Like especially Remicade was the one that I had the most side effects with. It caused so many mental and emotional side effects for me. It was kind of like this like tsunami of just like doom and gloom that would come over me within 24 hours of having an infusion. It was wild. I knew it was coming and it couldn't be prevented in any way, shape, or form. And so I had tried that for about like 6 months, and it also just like wasn't even helping me, but they wanted to give it like a solid shot. My symptoms were not relieved at all.
And you saw it through. You're like, maybe it's the first fusion, maybe it'll go away. And some people it does. They get on a biologic and it works great. And we hope it works great. But others, I mean, I just talked with another member around the same age as you, same thing. Some of us just get absolutely worse with these immunosuppressants. Like symptoms don't get better. Then all these other symptoms come about and it's tough. It's no guarantee.
Yeah, because it would have been one thing if it was helping my UC symptoms, but it wasn't. I still had all my symptoms. I had blood, mucus, urgency, ridiculous pain. I would come out of the bathroom looking like I had just been in a fist fight.
Jeez.
Like it was exhausting. And I was tethered to my house, which so many people are. I was in the bathroom 15 times a day, like just brutal. And so then you throw on the like mental, emotional side effects on top of that. Like I was just like a shell of myself. So long story short, I decided to kind of like put the pause on the medication, and by like the grace of God, the grace of the universe, whatever you want to call it, that was when all of these testimonies had fallen into my lap.
Ooh.
And yeah. So I was like, you know what? Like I think I want to give this program a shot. I had tried another program before this one.
Yeah.
And another like very functional, holistic approach.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is something that is worth a shot. So I tried that first program, but it just wasn't bio individual. It wasn't customized. It was very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't work for me. I'm sure it works for a lot of other people. And I'm sure it's a great program for potentially other autoimmune things that other people are dealing with. But for me and my UC, it wasn't successful, unfortunately. And so that's when I found these testimonies, and I would watch testimony after testimony because I was a little bit hesitant. I was
wondering if it's a scam. Oh, is this going to be a win?
Yeah.
And
I was like,
and this was, and that other program was more expensive than S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah, it was like twice as expensive.
Wow.
And it wasn't customized. There was no one-on-one coaching. It was like, if you did get to talk to somebody, it was like once every 2 months.
Wow.
But it just wasn't customized. I couldn't really get like a hold of anybody.
You can't see, and one thing, everyone out there listening to Erin's program, what you need for success is you need customization. You need someone to talk to. You need pivots. Generalization is only going to go so far. Some of us will hit Yahtzee, but a small percentage. But you're looking at this and you're wondering, is this just another waste of my money? Is this a money grab? Is this a scam? But you're watching testimony of testimony. What gave you the thought to say, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot? You've already failed. You've tried diets. You've gone carnivore. You've gotten restrictive eating. You've probably done fasting. You've done a lot of stuff, and you also failed all these medications. So in your mind, you're thinking, I'm a unique case. Nothing works for me. God has smited me. What made you think, like, gave you that, let's go?
Yeah, because like I'll be honest with you, Dane. Like at that point, I was feeling pretty defeated.
Yeah.
Like the amount of hope that I had, it was going from here to here to here to here.
That's how it was for me. I tried all the diets, and I was on Entyvio and Remicade and all this, and I was still chronically sick. I thought nothing could work for me either.
Right. So I was starting to lose hope, as much as I hate to say that, but the testimonies, they fell into my lap. They ended up popping up into my algorithm because I was looking for like holistic solutions.
You were searching.
Like,
you were searching.
I was a desktop freak trying to figure this thing out. And they popped up into my algorithm. So I watched a bunch of them. And then I saw that a consultation like with the team was free.
Yes.
And you could talk with somebody, tell them your story, your situation, what you were going through, and it was free. And I was like, all right, this is free. Like what's the harm? So
who'd you talk to? Do you remember?
Becky.
Oh, Becky. Yes.
Oh my God. Loved her from the moment she popped on the computer.
Yeah. She had life-threatening ulcerative colitis herself.
Yeah. And she had shared a bit about her story, how like she was in the hospital when she had her initial phone call.
Yep.
And luckily I was able to make my phone call from my home. I was unwell, probably should have been in the hospital, but I was home. And her energy, just like, it gave me so much hope. And the fact that she was like, we're going to customize this for you. If you're willing to put in the work, we're willing to put in the work, and we are going to help you. And we're going to tailor this to you because you are different from everybody else out there. Like, it's not a blanket cookie cutter.
100%. It's a chess match. You can't just generically make moves with diet or supplements or mindset. You have to put them together in the right way, the right dosage, the right time for the right person, and go after the right root issues. This is amazing. I mean, you went through so much, but you joined back in the beginning of 2024. It is now the beginning of 2025. What are your symptoms now?
I have like nothing of what I did a year ago, which I'm like so beyond ecstatic to report. Yeah. Like,
how many bowel movements?
1, maybe 2.
Maybe 2. Okay, good. 2 can sometimes be better because we don't want you too congested, right? We got to get rid of those toxins. 1 to 2, got rid of the blood, got rid of the mucus. You'll maybe have a spot of it every once in a while. You got rid of predominantly the bloating and gas, but still a little bit of bloating and gas going on.
A little bit. And that's like even something that we're still working through, and it's trending in the right direction. So it's good.
Beautiful. And no bowel movements tonight. Got rid of the nightly bowel movements. Joint pain's been good on and off based on some other things going on, but joint pain's really good. Your energy skyrocketed. I mean, you had no energy. And your weight's in a good place?
Yeah, weight's in a great place.
And after failing all those medications, what medications are you on now? 0 medications. Wow. Now, everyone listening, we do not recommend you come off your medications. That's for you and your doctor to decide. And Erin talked to her doctor. She made a choice to do that. And here she is in the beginning of 2025 in New York in the winter.
Yeah.
With nothing ever worked.
Oh my God, yeah. This time of year especially was always the scariest.
Oh, it's always the winters. The winters are always the scariest. The COVID, the flu, the lack of vitamin D, the stress levels. It's a huge thing. And it wasn't easy, guys. Everyone listening to Erin, this was not like we gave her some secret plan. It was like, here you go. It took hard work, correct?
Oh yeah, a lot of hard work. And to be
hard cases require hard work.
Yeah, it was hard work from many different aspects. And also, I appreciated the fact too that the program had enough length to it that I was gonna run into speed bumps along the way.
Yeah.
Because I think if I didn't have the help when the speed bumps occurred,
yep,
I would have just like spiraled and like lost hope. But because I had those speed bumps during the program, like Taryn was able to teach me like, no, we're giving you the foundation so that when these speed bumps do pop up, because they probably will pop up in the future, that you can stay calm and you know exactly what to do and you know what to implement, what works for your body. Like, so I'm grateful for the fact that like it wasn't like a miracle. It wasn't like I just like bounced back in like a week. Like I did have those speed bumps, but she was there with me every single step of the way to get through those speed bumps. And now that I know I can get through them and I can bounce back from those speed bumps, like now I feel really prepared for like going there and
now you have just fully explained why we call the program S.H.I.E.L.D, not walk on water.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. To be able to respond to any adversity in the future. Like if you have the perfect diet and then you get COVID or you get the flu or you have to travel and you get a bug or you get food poisoning or you go through stress or a breakup and it freaks you out, the perfect little plan is going to need to be able to, you're going to have to pivot based on what's going on emotionally, physically, spiritually. That's why we call it S.H.I.E.L.D. And so what's amazing about that is have a skill set you can use for the rest of your life and you can help your sister with.
Yes, exactly.
Because now you can go, wait, that's that. That could be the liver. That could be the nervous system. That could be the microbiome. That could be a viral load infection. That could be parasites. That could be something going on with congestion that's affecting your hormones. That could be a absorption issue, a cellular toxicity issue. Yeah. And then you're able to go bing, bing, think and make sense of it. So now you are empowered. You are the CEO. And you're not just left with some magic little pill. We call it MPS, Magic Protocol Syndrome. That you have to do this perfect little diet and take vitamin D with magnesium for the rest of your life. Those things are good, but they're not everything, right?
Yep.
And speed bumps are important to build that skill set. If someone comes in and they get perfect results for a year and a half and something goes wrong, what are they going to do? They don't know. They have no skills around adversity. There's no sharpening. So I love that for you, especially because nothing worked. But that also to say, Erin, how quickly, I know you worked and you had a few things happen and rise back up. You worked with Taryn for a long time, 8, 9, 10 months. One question, how quickly in the program did you start to see results?
Oh, gosh. Really quickly. I would say like 10 days, 14 days, I started to see like a huge difference.
Wow. So you might have been like, thank God, something finally worked.
Right. Yeah. No, it was like, hallelujah. I was shocked. My parents were shocked. They were like, this is wild. Because it was 3 years that like we couldn't find anything.
Woo. Tell mom and dad that's what I'm talking about. You tell them I told them.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Because I went through that same thing. I know what it takes, right?
Yeah, it was wild.
I'm so excited for you. But this is awesome. So here's the guys, everyone listening. Erin went way up like this and then had a bit of this go on. and then went
Yeah.
up and then a little and up and a little bit and then kept learning. And that's what's important is and you never got as bad as you were in the beginning. Like you might have had a speed bump, but you didn't kerplat, right? That's really massive and really powerful. Let me ask you, all of this, I mean, great success, a really tough case, did this from New York, suffering 3 years, nothing worked. You're looking down the face of surgery at 30 years old, and you avoided that, got rid of medications. I mean, this is so huge. Could you have done this without Taryn? How important was Coach Taryn in your experience?
In my personal experience, like she was critical. I couldn't have done it without her, because not only was she a wealth of information from like what was going on in my body and like the science part, the supplement part, like she was a wealth of information with all that. Like she has her nursing background, like she's so smart, but also just from the mental emotional toll that this disease can have on you. Like she was there. She's like, you've got this. Like hearing somebody that's like, I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like, but you can do this. Like, and she would help me with the mental, emotional hurdles that I would also reach a lot going through this process. And like knowing that she was there and she would give me different types of breathwork exercises and how you can de-stress and how you like activate that parasympathetic nervous system, like all of that. Like I couldn't have done it without Erin.
Amazing. And so I think that's a big point, that if the plan that worked for you was just given to you without that person there, it wouldn't have worked. That's how much this is about like faith and confidence and mental, and then being able to pivot on the plan. So even if we gave you the plan, it still would have been not enough. You needed that pivot, that tweaking, that certainty. What do I do now? This happened this last week. How do I pivot? Huge, huge. You know, I just can't say enough about what you're saying. It's exactly what it takes. And I hope this is helping a lot of people out there. Could you highlight one thing in the program? It could be a strategy, a protocol, or a supplement that anyone really resonate with your case. You feel like, wow, that really helped me out. What would it be? Guys, remember, this was over a year, a lot of customization, a lot of tweaking. This is one little highlight out of a lot of work. Go ahead.
Yeah. Gosh, there was so much that was like so helpful, and it was just like exactly what I needed at that exact moment in time. But I think one of the big things that I really appreciated, in addition to like the diet changes, the supplements, like all of the science and everything that went behind it, was how there was such a important emphasis on the mental and emotional work that goes along with the physical, tangible work. Yeah. Right. Like you also have to be in the right mindset. You have to be open to possibilities. Like, and I loved in several of your videos and like your live chats, you talk about how you don't have to wait to be happy until you're healthy. You can have IBD and you can be going through the trenches and still be happy. And like that was like a light bulb went off for me, because I struggled with that. And I will admit, even sometimes I still struggle with that, but like you can be happy now. And like, I heard you say that time after time, again and again and again. And I was like, that was a huge mental, emotional mind shift for me. And that I think also kind of like gave me the platform for the rest of everything else to kind of take off. You know what I mean? It's huge.
I think people sleep on this idea. I was miserable trying to get healthy. And until I was housebound and I nearly died of this disease and I was done being a victim and done being sick, I started getting happy and I could hardly walk. I started getting happy. I was still having 15 bowel movements a day, but I could still call my mom. I could still put on Bob Marley. I could still go outside and walk. I could still work on my garden. I could still joke and laugh. I could call my best friend. And then all of a sudden it hit me that, would I rather this disease or to lose all those things I just identified? No, give me the disease. I want my mom. I want my family. I want my friends. I want the sun. I want the earth to be good. I want my home. There's so much to be happy with now. And when you're sick and you're depressed, you can say, okay, this also could be a mineral deficiency. This could be me herxing. This could be me just needing to do some tapping or sleep better. This could be needing more sunshine. So now you're able to identify that there are ways to change how you feel and how you feel doesn't identify you.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I love that. Well said. I mean, and Erin, so that's real, guys. I know it sounds different, but I'm telling you, the first thing you have to do is get happy to get healthy. I just interviewed Dr. Jill Carnahan, Benazzati, all these, and they said the same thing in their own healing journey. Get happy to get healthy. Don't wait to get healthy to get happy. And it will start to change your nervous system. Your mind will open up. Being gluten-free is easier. Dance in the rain, so to speak, right?
Totally.
So I love that. Great stuff. Any last words of advice for anyone out there who's struggling, watching your story really resonating with you, Erin? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say don't lose hope. And I know that's probably so hard to hear. That was hard for me to hear when I was like going through the thick of it, but don't lose hope. Like this really honestly gave me my life back. Not only like gave me my life back, but like gave me a better life back.
2.0. I've been saying that for years too. 2.0.
Totally upgraded. Like honestly. But yeah, just don't lose hope. There are solutions out there, and like probably solutions that you can't even wrap your head around right now, but like they work, and like be open to giving it a shot because it can totally change your life. So just hold on to that hope because it does get better.